Hey there, Fusion Fighters! I, the Lyoko Gem, have returned once again to bring you the first of the What If Blank were in Fusionfall series. First up, we have one of my favorite shows of all time, Steven Universe. And this is going to be a really fun one, as the Crystal Gems have an incredible story that I can't wait to sink my teeth into. And remember, this does contain spoilers to Steven Universe. So without further ado, let's begin. Now to start with, here's your basic lore mixing both Steven Universe and Fusionfall together. The Gem homeworld was once a peaceful planet that only dealt with themselves. That was great and all, but everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Oh, and Planet Fusion came to absorb their world. The Gems fought back, and they won. However, Planet Fusion left the planet in an irreparable state. Despite cleaning up the fusion matter, their land was unable to further produce gems and left them as a dying race. Thus, with no further choice, the Gems chose to conquer other planets in order to remain alive, while still keeping the diamonds and other members of the species in the parts of Homeworld that were still habitable. And then, of course, we have the story of how the Gems came to Earth and everything, and then there was the war, and then there was Planet Fusion arriving on Earth, and all that jazz. Planet Fusion landed on Earth during the events of Same Old World, but this is before Lapis decides to stay on Earth. With that being said, we can finally get into which areas from Steven Universe are in Fusionfall. There are two areas from this show that make it into Fusionfall. The first of which is Beach City. Beach City is located east of Bravo Beach. It's pretty much the same as it is in the show, only now fusion monsters roam around the town and the beach. Fusions are trying to attack the Crystal Temple in order to destroy it and get the gem artifacts that lie inside. Beach City is destroyed in the future. Then there is Mask Island. Mask Island is located in an area that I have dubbed the Islands, and yes, I'll eventually make a video about the islands later, but for now, it's there. It is located south of Pacateo Island and to the west of Bygone Island. Mask Island was broken up thanks to the events of Super Watermelon Island, and when Planet Fused arrived, it was easily turned into an infected zone. Players would have to traverse into the island on the hunt for Fusion Jasper while dealing with Watermelon Steven based fusions. And then we have a secondary area that is placed on the map, but isn't nearly as important. It's the barn from the Cluster Arc, and it is located in a new area called the Shaolin Temple, which is exactly what you think it is, and I'll go into further depth on that area in a later episode. But yeah, now we get into characters. First off, we have everybody's favorite half gem and half human, Steven Universe. And what I have for Steven, well, who I haven't paired up with, some of you are either gonna really love it or really hate it. And well, it's my AU, so I guess I'm doing what I want. So, without further ado, let's begin with Steven. Sometime after Lapis Lazuli's departure, the young Steven Universe returned back home to Beach City, where he resides in the temple. But now that fusions want to get into the temple so bad, Steven Universe must defend the temple with Pearl. But unfortunately, Steven was needed elsewhere. Steven Universe now instead resides on Bygone Island, where he has to play roommate in Sonic's home with the nefarious Dr. Eggman. Steven brings out a good side in the villain, and even tries to help assist him in his own agendas. But that aside, Steven's main objective is to try and save Mask Island and the Watermelon Stevens. And since Bygone Island is the closest island to it, he decided to take care of that from there. Steven is heartbroken over the infected Watermelon clones and sends the hero in to do whatever he can to save them. Unfortunately, Fusion Steven Universe wants the island to stay exactly as it is, and it's a never-ending battle between all the different Stevens. So you have Steven trying to help, Fusion Steven trying to stay as is, and the Watermelon clones, well, they're infected and pretty much bend to Fusion Steven Universe's bidding. But other missions of Steven's include trying to help out the random inhabitants of Bygone Island and trying to get closer to his rather odd roommate, since they're living together and he wants to be cool with him. So yeah. Steven has a mid-leveled nano mission entitled Cookie Cat, Cookie Craze. In this mission, it is discovered that Cookie Cats are coming back for a very limited time. Steven can't get them himself since he's on Bygone Island. Unfortunately, Fusion Steven Universe happens to steal the Cookie Cats from the Big Donut. Fusion Steven is said to have run into the Sandcastle Infected Zone. There you discover Fusion Steven Universe's secret lair. You go in and take out the fusion, and once that's done, you get the nano and send the Cookie Cats to Steven. Steven does engage in combat, and unfortunately, Steven Universe is dead in the future. And well, I'm well aware of the whole absorbed by fuse thing. However, in my alternate universe for Fusionfall, people die in the future, and that's sad, but that's the reality of it for my universe. Now, FFL and the original Fusionfall, yeah, they're absorbed, and you can do whatever they want with that, but in my world, they die. That's it for part 1. In the next episode, we'll be talking about Pearl and Amethyst. So until then, this has been the Lyoko Gem warping out.